Hello, loved ones, dear ones. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're talking about why in the world would we forgive the Cabal game? The Ca-Ball game. Just say. um, so I have a few references for you. Magenta Pixie was going over her steps again today. I was listening to another interview, and again, the nine we're talking about. Step one is inform yourself about what the Cabal game is all about. The Cabal game is what it's all about. I may be speaking in a little code, so this my channel won't be shut down. So, um, so step one is informing yourself. That's step one. Inform yourself. Oh, is inform yourself what's going on. Step two is is set your boundaries. So by setting boundaries, you are claiming your sovereignty, and you're telling them to stop. One reason you do this is because it is so much easier to forgive someone or something when it's all stopped. It's really hard to forgive when it's still going on. And again, it becomes like a constant process of forgiveness, which is okay. That's kind of like marriage. It's ongoing process of forgiveness, which is fine. It helps us grow in love. But with things that you're most likely not going to be hanging out with people who are, ah, yeah, inform yourself. If you are hanging out with such people, I pray for you, and hopefully you'll get the strength. You know, there is that Stockholm syndrome. It's real. It's a real thing. Please take the moment when it arrives to step out if you can. Um, but when you can stop things, it's going to be easier to forgive. Um, I have something for you to think about. And today, you know, even Magenta Pixie was talking about it. And I'm sorry, keep name dropping, guys, but you know, I love her, and it's the nine that we're talking about, and the process of getting through this rapidly. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how we can make this change and empower the change and not feed the cabal, not feed them what they live on, which is hatred, anger, fear, depression, grief, despair. They feed on all this. So that's why you're going to want to make your way through the 5 stages of grief. I will put that in here. The 5 stages of grief, from step one to step three, which I didn't put down what step three is. Step three is what we're talking about today. Step three is forgiveness. And why forgive? That's two S's in forgiveness. So, um, there are 5 stages generally. I mean, and they're not necessarily linear. Um, there's a good site here that seems like it's holding a weekly Facebook meeting. I'll put that in here in a minute. But the 5 stages are denial. First off, you all may be denying what's going on. That's why you need to um, take step one And in that, you're probably going to experience the 2 first stages at least, which is denial and anger. Okay, perfectly normal. Don't beat yourself up about it. Yes, they may get some loosh from you, but it's gonna be one of their last suppers, okay? Alright, so, it's alright. They've been getting it from you for decades. If you're, because this isn't for children, this video isn't for children, so I know you're over 18. So they've been getting loosh from you. This is what they feed off of, the low frequency energies. So a little last burst, okay. But you're gonna wanna come through that. You will come through it, and you need tools to come through it. So your world is probably falling apart. Mine fell apart a long time ago. And I can tell you a little bit about why I believe that I'm qualified to talk about this. Um, so, denial, anger are probably going to be in the first 2 steps at least. And the third one is bargaining, is the third stage of grief, depression, and then acceptance. And that's probably more like, that's where the third step is probably going to kick in with acceptance. And when you accept something, it doesn't mean to let it go on. That's taken care of in step 2, where you're setting your boundaries. You're telling them, I am sovereign, I am God, I am free. I'm God, I'm sovereign, I am free. And you have the power to set boundaries and say, I withdraw any contract. And I set my boundaries. We talked about that in one of the other videos. Also, Magenta has her videos up about it. There's many other people who are doing videos on setting boundaries. I also referenced energetic synthesis on YouTube, energetic synthesis. But what we're going to talk about is forgiveness and why to forgive, why it is so important for your own freedom. Um, so I thought this was a really good this is a good playlist on somebody who is, his name is Dr. I'm not going to write it in all caps. Dr. Hugh Lin. I believe that's how it's spelled. He applies Ho'opono, Ho'opono, Pono. Give me a second to spell this. Did I spell it right? No. Ho'oponopono. Okay, there we go. So Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian um, system, belief system of forgiveness. Okay, and basically, what you're doing in that is saying, you know, in that system, the belief is that we are all co-creators. We have signed up for this deal. And part of it was, before you start yelling and screaming, because I went through this too, and I've said the same thing. How in the world would I sign up for this crap? I mean, I remember somebody telling me you need to accept it. It was like, before I knew what acceptance meant, I was like, and I yelled. I was like, how can I freaking accept this? And they said, it doesn't mean that you're not going to do something about it. What it means is that you come to your core, down in your core, and go, this happened. This happened. I experienced this. So there's a difference between this happened and I experienced this. Subtle but important difference. There are facts and there is reality. Just like many Native Americans, Aboriginals, non-dualistic belief systems will tell you this is a dream. Now, things happen in dreams that you experience, don't they? And you can wake up freaked out, like you can have your adrenaline going and your body acts as if it's real. And then, but when you wake up out of your nighttime dream, you go, oh, but I'm here safe in bed. Okay. But your body's reacting, your body's still full of adrenaline. Okay, did that happen here? Or did it happen up here, but you experienced it? Now, that's not to say that the power of your mind isn't real. Like it's a powerful thing. Your mind is very powerful. Don't diminish it ever. So, but the only things that are real are things that don't ever change. And that means ever, eternally. They don't ever change. That means anything here that you see is changeable. The only thing that's assured is change here in this plane. You are real. Everything else that you see that's going on is changing. You may say, oh, yeah, but my personality changes. But the fact that you exist, will never change. You are eternal. That makes you real. There's another being that's real, and that's your creator. And your creator is real. The things that we come down here to embody and experience is a dream within a dream. We may be dreaming that we're in a dream at night, but that's a dream in a dream. Here, things can change and their effects can be voided because of that, because there's only one cause, and that cause is real, and that cause is the creator. You're the creator of you. Don't tune out. Wait. You can also create, which is something real. You can create something real, and only things that can be created that are real is what stems from love. So, what is that? Anything else is made. So we can create as real beings of the creator. We create in the likeness of our creator. We can create out of love, or we can make things that are stem from fear, hate, vengefulness, loathing. Those things are made, and they will not continue. They do not exist. This is good news. It's the basis of Dr. Hu Lin's and the Hawaiian um, system of forgiveness. And I will tell you the story of how he used this principle, that he was a co-creator and could therefore uncreate, or he was a co-creator, a co-maker is more correct, a co-maker of suffering and illusion. He accepted responsibility for what he made here in this world. He's a psychiatric or psychologist, psychiatric doctor, and he went to this story, the short story, and I gave you the link so you can go and see the whole story. But bottom line is, and he's still alive, he went to a hospital, took a job there, and it was a for the criminally insane, I believe. It was pretty sure it was a criminally insane. So we've got really serious cases here. And he wouldn't even go see the patients. What he would do is read their chart and go through it and say, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you." Basically, he's saying, "I'm sorry for co-creating this with you," which he really means we know we're not creating something that's out of fear and suffering. It's something that's made, but that I'm we use that term, and that's okay. But I'm sorry for cr- co-creating this illusion with you. Please, please forgive me. I love you. An amazing story. People that were thought hopeless started to be healed when he didn't even meet them. He didn't even see them. Just one after the other started being healed and healed and healed to the point where he was out of a job. The whole place cleared out. That's my understanding. Check it out in the playlist. Could be wrong. Make a comment and correct me if that's the case. Do your homework. That's step one of the cabal cabal game. All right. This is I don't mean to make light of this because it's not funny. It's not funny. But when you start to get mastery over it, it becomes ridiculous. And you start to, when you get on the other side and see how it works, you know it's going to be all right. Um, I will tell you a little bit about my story, my children's story, the reason why I am could even start to um, look at what the Illuminati and Anunnaki and Cabal are doing is because here's the 5 stages of grief. Here, there's a website I picked out just quickly. Um, is because when my children were young, um, they suffered great abuse, and by somebody who I have a lot of suspicion that was trying to break them in the way that the Illuminati cabal uh, process tries to do. Um, in that she, my son said that she had brainwashing books, etc. My children, it's a good, it's they're lucky to have survived. Okay, my daughter ended up in the hospital with three subdurals, hematomas, burns, broken bones. Okay, so I have lived this. I have had to go through this process, and I'm not done with telling you why you must forgive. You've got to get to that point, and I know it's a practice. It's a practice, and it's taken me years. And there's still times where I reach out to the abuser, like try to find where she is to stop her because she's still running loose. And for some reason, they let these people run loose to do this to children. So I know about it, and I'm not making light of it. But this is part of the reason I believe that my children are as fabulous as they are today. By all rights, they should have been had split personalities, just like they try to do in spirit cooking, when they traumatize the children so badly that they fragment their mind for the purposes of using for very distinct purposes. But my children are highly intelligent, amazing grown adults with their own children, and amazing parents. Um, I'm so proud of them, and I just couldn't be more pleased with how the universe has answered, has come through for my children in the end here. And they ended up running her off. Whoop! I'd love to. I'm gonna get my children's permission to write this story, but, and I'm hoping that they'll come out with it and help so many people because they can. Because here's the thing, when as their spiritual guardian, because that's all I could be at the time, um, I what I did was I applied the process that was not, I didn't know it was, there's several names in the world, but forgiveness is one of them, and Ho'oponopono works because you accept responsibility for coming into this ball game, and that what you run into, you're looking at your shadow self. And yes, please don't get angry. Please look. The mind reaches only to itself, okay? And I'm not telling you to let people get away with things. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I turned over my vengeance, hatred, grief, and despair, and all of that. I turned it over to my creator, to my God, and said, I put my children in your hands because I am going to believe that where there is no harm, there is no foul. Where there is no harm, there is no foul. What that means is that in a world of illusion, it is causeless unless you give it power. So I wasn't going to give them any more power. I was going to take back my power to protect my children, even if it was spiritually at a distance. I didn't see my children for 9 years. It took a long time of prayer, practicing faith, and healing within myself. I learned so much about myself and the conditioning of this world. But the main thing is that, and my children love me, and we have a relationship, and they know, she tried to brainwash them in the worst way. I mean, they've told me some of the stories. She tried to brainwash them against me, and it was successful for a while, but in the end, no. Because when you let go, when you say, this is not, this is not harming, there is no harm here, because there is nothing to forgive, because we are coming out of this like shining, gloriful, glory creators that we are. We are powerful. And that's what I believed about my children. That's what I choose to believe about all children. Not that I'm not going to give them help. I'm a certified trauma release exercise facilitator. I'm ready when they need it. I have done things to prepare, but the 2 examples that I know of very well, they're amazing, amazing beings, amazing adults, so smart, so loving. They're not perfect, nor would I want them to be. But what I'm telling you is that this man, by applying Ho'oponopono, cleared out a whole criminally insane asylum. I, by giving my vengeance to my God, to my higher power, my creator, took matters, said, wipe the slate clean, and made a beautiful thing on the other side. Every cloud has a silver lining. And my children came out with a silver lining. I'm telling you, they are not harmed. They are perfect. They are healthy. They are whole human beings and adults. And we can all come out this way. All right. That's enough preaching. I'm going to get off my soapbox. Believe, practice faith, at least an hour of meditation a day. Meditate if you can. My mind was like today, but it's practice. Okay. So, guys, I know this is going to make some of you mad, but the truth shall set you free. But first, you may be pissed off. It's okay. Love you. Hang in there. It's really all right. We are okay. You are okay right now. Okay. So, to have a good life, start right now by having a good day. Bless. I'll see you soon. By the way, I'm getting my ministerial license hooked up so I can do counseling. I will ask me if you want my contact information. Bless.